YouTube, and Facebook. Wherever you are, happy Tuesday. I'm here with you for another Tuesday talk. And I'll be talking about today about, as a senior manager, seasoned professional, what you can do to stand out between other candidates or other potential candidates and competitors if you are planning to aim for higher profile roles. If you have been with me on previous Tuesday talks, welcome back. And if it's the first time that you're tuning in, welcome. I always talk about two topics: landing higher profile roles for people that they are unapologetic about going higher in corporate space, or they want to have higher impact roles and go beyond 9 to 5 and perhaps do some consulting, advisory, mentoring in conjunction with their work. It doesn't necessarily mean you need to leave the corporate and your main job to say, but it means you want to do something more in the future. So everything that I do is aligned with, for first group, to helping you raise your profile and to be seen as a leader. And second one is to monetize your know-how. And why a girl that her background is technology and transformation is doing executive career coaching is because throughout my career, every day, on so many occasions, I've seen so many people that they are really great in what they do, but for some reasons they are overlooked or they never get picked for higher profile roles. And I always wondered why. And I researched that, studied that, looked at different examples. And once I figured out, I thought I'll share that with others. And everything that I do in terms of books, these talks, the program that I have designed, Executive Elevate, is practical lessons and actions that will help you to get to the roles that you want. What I actually learned is that higher profile role or higher impact is different for different people. And but I am dedicated to this. And what I've learned also is that these are the things that no one teaches you unless you're actively trying to learn these methods. And these are the things that even you don't get it if you study MBA. And that's definitely not what you get in an MBA, because MBA will tell you how to do the job, doesn't tell you how to get there. So in today's conversation, I particularly want to talk about a way for you to stand out. And that's not by having a sexier or more polished resume or a better suit or a way to dress up. No, none of that. And even not with gaining another skill. So when you, in those conversations for basically in interview or initial negotiations, the key thing that will help you stand out is your ability to articulate what else you bring to the table. And this is an important one. See, when you go for a role, your resume and your past experiences and the companies that you've worked in easily demonstrate what you are capable of. You can do the job. The point is now you are trying to say that you are a match and you are above that and beyond that. And for that, you need to, it's not enough to just say, oh, I can do the job. It's that, what else do I bring to the table? Which the key point to that, it's not necessarily about ability to execute and deliver on targets. It's about the things that are around the work that we do that will help you to stand out. And most of the time, the education that we have in our educational system is just because it's very gate-based. So you go to an exam, you tick a few boxes, then you get a stamp, you go to the next level. We have learned that for us to get a job, so we need to prove that we can do the job. No. This is one of the things that as we grow up, we need to unlearn. The fact that you are there is just a demonstration that you can do the job. That's not a question. You already have that proven. Now you want to say, I am that and beyond that. And this is the thing that we will need to shift. And for that, I want you to start thinking about what are other things that you are capable of. Let me give you a couple of examples. The things that are considered related to your job, but not exactly on your resume. What I call them beyond resume. So if you have previously been part of a panel, if you have done mentoring, if you have worked with universities in some sort of joint venture, if you have worked with some sort of associations and or communities, if you look at all these areas and things that you have worked, or if you are a football or cricket coach, or if you are working somewhere in your neighborhood on a specific project or a specific type of work, these are the things that you can mention, you should mention, that demonstrate you are more than just a doer. Your ability, if you come in to these conversations and just say, here is my past example of work, and this is how I delivered what so and so, and I did this and that, and this was my target, and how I moved the needle, great, well done. But this shows that you are a doer. You need to demonstrate you are not a multi-dimensional, you are not a single dimension person, you are multi-dimensional. You are more than just this one piece of work. And showing what are the other things that you have done or you are doing in your life is demonstrating that not just a doer, not just a manager, but also a leader, someone that is more than just, someone that I can plug into this role and does the job. That's where it moves you from the space of doer, manager, to a leader. The key thing is during these conversations, interview, or even shortlisting, no one asks you about, okay, what else do you bring to the table? No one does. It is your responsibility to create those opportunities to weave them in, and then somehow tie it to the role that you are doing and or you're interviewing for, and highlight those ones just as a matter of fact and move on to the next part of conversation. But it is your responsibility. One of the things that is, I have an example from one of my clients, and I will, at the end of this conversation, give you an Excel that has a couple of prompts that will help you to find these treasures that you have in your life experience. And I call it treasure hunt activity, to be able to find these points, talking points, or these experiences, or these values that you can bring to the table. And this exercise is quite interesting. I have an example from one of my clients that he is a chief product officer. And one of the lessons learned that he brings in the conversations is, I have a failed startup. I know how to raise money. I know how to bring a concept from 0 to 10. I know how to raise money. And also I know that how I can and when's the time to call quit on something and just let go. This experience is, before he becomes a chief product officer, was something that obviously wasn't really great in his experience. He was always talking about it, that yes, I did have a startup, it didn't go ahead because of whatever for reasons. But that's actually a really valuable experience to bring to the table, to say, I know when is the time to stop? And I have this experience, and I've learned these lessons along the way. So in the treasure hunt exercise, I want you to set some time aside and look at any publications, any collaborations, any past life experiences, particularly in a field that is not related to your line of work, any lesson learned, aha moment that made you completely shift from one point of view to another, and keep listing this one. Keep this file. As we grow up, we keep adding to this. But for now, I invite you to take this action if you decide to, because what's the point of listening to a talk if there's no action? And do this treasure hunt and see what's there that you can highlight it, and then you will get an opportunity or create an opportunity to mention it in an interview. It's funny because normally when we do interviews, after the interview, we always have a debrief. And in debrief, because we don't remember name of people, we say, oh, that was the girl that was, or previous life has done this, or that's the guy that had that family business. Actually, yeah, family business is another key thing that might be helpful in an interview to mention it, or might not. But it's just something that is helpful. But what is important, my point is this. In debrief and comparing candidate, having something that stands out and significantly different and is unique to you will help others to refer to you with something very specific and remember you. And if that's something that contributes to your case. So that was my suggestion, tip for you. And it's particularly important for people that they are quite senior. Every resumes that are for those high profile roles reads fantastically well. Everyone knows that they need to talk about their objective, achievements, their target. Everyone knows that. So on that level, saying I could do the job is necessary, but is not enough. And hopefully this exercise will help you to be able to say, not only I'm matched, but I'm also beyond that. And finding a smart way to weave that in a conversation, or just literally mentioning it, is the key. One of the things that I used to do and I used to say was, all my life I've always been a connector. I always had groups or forums or now WhatsApp channels that had a lot of people in it. And I always had a really good network, and I always was referring people to jobs or to opportunities, or connecting to people if they were, I felt that connection will, create something amazing. So when I was in interviews, and I still do, I used to pick up my phone and say, like, this phone is the phone that a CFO loves, because I would introduce a lot of people from my network for open positions, and that will save us a lot of money on commission fee that we have to pay our recruitment agents, for example. And I used to do that because the best thing is to invite friends, like-minded people to the roles that we have, and that is allowing us to have close collaboration with our team, and it's definitely a culture match with what we are. And yeah, that was one of the extra things that I bring to the table, a phone book of like-minded people. So that always was working. So yes, here are some ideas. I invite you to do the treasure hunt. I put the link to this Google file. It's a Google Excel sheet. It has just a couple of prompts there. Go through it, enjoy it. You don't need to put any emails anywhere. It's just there. Go and use it and enjoy it. And see what else comes up for you. And I would love to hear from you. Apart from that, I'll see you next Tuesday, same time, same place, and a different topic. Happy treasure hunt.